Hi, I'm Kyle. I'm the retail manager.
I'm Jake. I'm the range manager.
We're here at Wilshire Gun here, and we're going to talk scopes today.
It really comes down to, I have a gun, I need a scope. What are you looking to do with it?
So really for this one, we've got two different scopes, two different styles here. We've got one which is more for your deer hunters, your small game hunters, your pig hunters, anything like that. And then we've got this one over here, which is covered more for your long range shooters, your PRS guys, stuff like that.
Right. So obviously with your Tango 6s, they're going to be a little bit higher on the price point, but they have more features. And features are basically directly related to the price point of this. Over here, as opposed to the Whiskey 3, a little more basic, focal plane's different on it, so it's going to bring your price point down.
The more basic style hunting scopes that have the capped turrets, which what that means is your adjustments are fixed. You physically have to take the turret off of the scope in order to make adjustments to it. Not only that, but they only come with basic illumination, or they don't come with any illumination at all.
Right. You step over here up into the more expensive scope, you're going to get a whole bunch more features. You're going to notice the objective's larger, the tube is larger. That's going to provide you with clearer image quality. The turrets on there, you're going to notice the third turret out here is a little bit larger, because not only does it house illumination like this one over here, but it also houses parallax. You still have your elevation and your windage adjustment turrets, but these can be adjusted on the fly just by pulling up. Then you can make adjustments as you need to, and then you push it back down and it locks back in. So obviously you're making adjustments much quicker in a much more fluid manner. Your magnification on this one's higher, much higher.
So most of your hunters are going to want something really basic, something like a duplex, a little simple crosshair, or even a BDC reticle or a bullet drop compensated reticle. What that means is there are lines on the scope itself. For some scopes are every 50 yards, there's a line off that adjustment. Some are every 100 yards, there's a line for that adjustment.
Those are literally going to show your bullet drop and how you need to compensate for those.
Yep.
I mean, if your scope is zeroed at X distance, you know that line 2 is this, line 3 is that, line 4 is here. So real quick, kind of Kentucky windage style shooting, as opposed to when you come over here, the reticle over here is a little bit more complicated.
It can be really busy, especially if you've never looked through a scope like it before. This particular one sports the Dev L reticle made by SIG. If you've never seen it before, it's a big Christmas tree style reticle that has 10 units of measurement if you're shooting in mils, or it's 30 if you're shooting in MOA, that come off the Christmas tree basically. Not only that, but then you got windage lines, hold lines, you have all sorts of different stuff in there that you can really get lost in if it's something you're not familiar with or something you've ever shot with before.
I mean, that's really just a BDC taken to the extreme, where it's showing drop, but it's also showing windage holds, so you can obviously move around. And a lot of those precision shooters that are having to make shots with quick follow-up shots based on their previous hit, they don't have to sit here and spin knobs.
Yeah, it basically takes the ability to shoot from 100 yards out to 1,000 yards without ever having to touch a dial.
Mm-hmm. Where shooting out to 1,000 with one of those that'd be a feat.
It'd be a chore.
That'd be a pain.
Not only that, but you really have no way with a basic duplex style reticle of achieving anything like that.
Right.
Outside of just holding in space. Basically doing what's called a false hold.
You got to ask yourself, what am I looking to do with my scope? You come in, you're looking around at scopes, and you need to find what works for you. Because one of the biggest issues we see is people will bring in a super expensive, high-powered optic, and they're like, I'm hunting rabbits. I'm like, well, you really went over with this one, but I mean, I guess at least you can shoot them out to 800 yards, no problem. Or you get other guys bringing in their super cheap Amazon-style scopes, saying, all right, I want to zero at 500 yards, and I want to hit 1,000 right out the box. And you got to find your price point, and you got to realize what you're paying for. It's one of the deals where you're not going to shoot a mile with a 3x9. It's just not going to happen. So to achieve that, you're going to pay a little more. So you got to make sure that you're not underappreciating or overvaluing what you have.
Right tools for the right job.
Right tools for the right job.
That's really what it comes down to. Just knowing what you're getting into before you run out and buy something.
A lot easier way to say it. Right tools for the job. All right, guys, I'm Jake.
And I'm Kyle.
Hey, come shoot with us.
Wrap it, pack it, roll it out.